Hi everyone, here is the Marquise fountain pen from Ferris Press. I received this for review. I want to give you guys a good look at this pen. I'm really intrigued by this one, particularly because it was part of the Kickstarter. April of 2025 was when this was first announced. This box is quite reflective, so you can't quite see all the details unless it's at the right angle. Thought it was really cool that it is possible to change out the nibs, but there have been, I guess, some discussion about the packaging that it comes in. Packaging of the Marquise fountain pen looks very similar to the roundabout and the carousel fountain pen that Ferris Press also carries. And the box design, the box features, each of the items that are like the cutouts, each of these features are really similar. And I actually even might think that the boxes of these are more durable, more heavyweight in cardboard than the Marquise, which I found a little, I guess, confusing. You can see the little notches, really similar. But this cardboard, maybe because the matte material, is actually harder than the Marquise cardboard. And so each of the sides all kind of have really similar design. This is a point to talk about because the jewel fountain pen comes in this most impressive packaging that also comes with a leather sleeve, or maybe it's faux leather, but might be real leather. And look at that. So the presentation, just in general, seems lacking for the Marquise for the price that you're paying. So if we're taking a look at the price of the Marquise pen on the website, currently there are obviously different deals and sales. If you are interested in any of these products or any fountain pen inks, you can use code JA-CTD for 15% off if there's no other deal running at the same time. But the pricing for this is obviously different on each of the Ferris Press websites. On ferriswheelpress.ca, the Marquise fountain pen is $199 Canadian. .com is the US website, is $165 US. And then for me, I'm in Asia, so I would be using ferriswheelpress.sg website, and that is 240 Singapore dollars. Korea is a bit of a weird website. It's brand new, but it's .co.kr, and it is at 225,000 won. AU, Australian and New Zealand, can purchase this for 345.99 Australian dollars. The EU website for Europeans are looking at 167.99 euros. And then UK, 149.99 Great British pounds. So it's not an insignificant amount of money to pay for this Marquise pen. So I guess it's the first kind of consideration that the packaging could be improved, because it looks much more similar to these. These are, I think, $20 on the SG website, while this one is upwards of like, how much is this? I think this one was $200 to $300. So these are much closer in price point, but the packaging seems to be less impressive. Packaging aside, though, and I guess the first look at it, I am pretty impressed with the pen itself, not the packaging. It's not as vital because the star of the show really is this pen. I have this one called the Nevermore Noir, and you can see the faceted metal body is very sleek, very beautiful. Most of the pens that I have right now are not that fancy. I at one point in time did have a Pilot Decimo, but somehow it fell out of my bag as I was getting out of the car, and so I no longer have that, and it's very sad. So I kind of stopped purchasing or acquiring any pens that would be too expensive to replace if I lost it. So right now I'm mostly using like Jinhao's, quite like this one, the Jinhao X750. This is really nice for the price. But these ones I think are much better priced, and they have the same functions as other very expensive fountain pens. Here's a comparison of length to the fountain pens I currently own. So this is not quite as, it's not, I guess not quite as comparable. And so it's about the same size in length as the Jinhao 10. And clearly against this Koiko collection iridescent pearl, it is much larger. And if we were to uncap, so here's my TWSBI Diamond 580. And you uncap. The lid is a little bit shorter, while the pen itself is a tiny bit longer because you've got the nib on there as well. So that is the kind of overall visual comparison between two pretty well-known pens. The Diamond 580 is one of my favorites. I think this is just a really good workhorse pen. If you wanted to compare it to a pocket pen, which I don't know if you need to do that, but that's what it looks like. And they do not suggest posting. So if you post it though, it's about the same size as the Koiko. But better not to post it because of, like, I'm assuming that this aluminum grade metal will eventually wear down over time. So for this kind of luxury type item from Ferris Press, I would try to keep it as nice for as long as possible. So if we took a look here, it's lightweight aluminum body, and there are some really beautiful Art Deco kind of motifs carved into this grip section, and it feels pretty smooth. It's really nice, doesn't bother me at all when I'm writing, because this is the section you definitely have to grip when you're writing. And it has this very beautiful faceted silhouette, and I was taking a look at it. This faceting isn't really commonly seen in a lot of metal type pens. So they say it has CNC technology, which when I looked it up, it said it was called cutting edge computer numerical control machinery. And so this technology, it's very precise as it's creating a model and then the final product. And so through manufacturing, not a lot of people use CNC technology, and they want to kind of showcase that a lot of design and a lot of work went into creating this product. The capped length in total is 141 millimeters or 14.1 centimeters, and the body maximum height is 12.25 millimeters. The cap itself is 56 millimeters, and the grip length, including this thread portion, 24.5 millimeters, while the grip diameter 10.5 to 9.7 millimeters because it's kind of tapered. So the nib length itself is 22.5 millimeters and the width is 9 millimeter. You can have different types of nibs with this because they also, at the same time of the Kickstarter, they came out with a really fun adventures collection where the nibs could be interchanged, which I've never seen or really come across anything like that. And so you have to just remove this is the Ferris Press branded cartridge converter. And so you remove that part because this is where it connects right here. And so you remove that, and then it can unscrew off of this part and you can put a new nib in. I tried to put in a Jinhao nib that has this kind of casing, but it didn't fit. So this nib, I really think it might be a good investment to purchase the Adventures nibs. It comes in a flight of 5. It looks like the nibs themselves, like single nibs, are going out of production, which is a little bit concerning for me, but I think it would be a good time to pick them up now because they are on sale. It looks like the nibs themselves, like single nibs, are going out of production, which is a little bit concerning for me, but I think it would be a good time to pick them up now because they are on sale. I'm really considering to pick that up in my order that's coming up. I really think that the material and design kind of makes it pretty worth it for just aesthetics. The lid actually closes up really nicely. Everything seems quite lined up, which is nice. On the website, there's information about the weight. So with the converter inside everything here, it is 31.6 grams. And without the converter, which doesn't make any sense that you would not have it, but it's 29 grams without that converter and ink inside. I requested a fine nib, but there is an F right at the bottom there. So I will fill this up. It is really perfect because of the color. You can put any ink in and there's not going to be any clashing issues. But I am actually going to put a shimmering ink in, even though it's a fine nib, and see how that works. I think I'm going to use Serpentine Blooms, which is the special edition ink for 2025. This is to celebrate the year of the snake, so it seems kind of fitting. And also I wanted to test out the shimmer in this Marquise fountain pen in the fine nib. So I'm going to, this is so pretty actually. I don't think I've shown this before. But actually really quickly wanted to demonstrate how to switch the nibs. This one is the Jewel fountain pen, and the Jewel, along with the Marquise, you can interchange the nibs. These ones are part of that system. I think they are called Yovo 6, number 6 nibs. So you'll need to remove the caps of the fountain pen, and then you're going to, oh, I already have ink on my fingers. So you want to remove your cartridge converters. I just put this one to the side. And you can see the Marquis is slightly shorter than the Jewel pen. The Jewel is actually a little heavier. But because they are interchangeable nibs, and these are the only 2 nibs that I have, you just unscrew this side. Be really careful with this because you don't want to snap this part off. And then you can unscrew this one. So this one is the medium nib, and I think the standard ones that come with the pen all look like this with like the little wheel in the middle. But if you're going to get the Adventures nib, you will have really intricate carved faces of each of the characters that they're named after. So those are the 2 nibs. I have a medium nib and a fine nib. I think I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do the Serpentine Blooms, the shimmer, using the fine nib still. Hope I don't regret it. So I just wanted to showcase how the nibs can be interchanged, but for now, I'm still going to keep all the same parts of my Marquis pen. So you'll shake up your bottle a little bit to disperse and kind of make sure you get some of the shimmer. Some people will leave it like this and you end up pushing the plunger all the way down. And then you insert your like entire pen nib directly into the bottle and then you pull back up. But I personally, I think it contaminates the ink bottle, and I want to try to avoid that if possible. So what I do is I completely pull the plunger back all the way so it's as big as it can. So the volume is as much as it can hold, and then I shake up my bottle as usual. You gotta hold on to this bottle, or you have to use your stand. I'm just gonna hold on to it because I have a needle that I reuse, but I'm not sure you're supposed to. And just grab a little bit of the ink and recap that first. And then I just fill it directly in to my cartridge converter. Didn't do too much this time. I end up pushing it back up close to the opening, and then I replace the cartridge converter inside and then reassemble your pen. So this actually might end up taking a little bit of time to get in there. So just wait for a bit, and I clean off my syringe as much as I can by drying in some water and cleaning that out. Bring that in a little bit more. So the Marquise pen won't work yet, so I'm just going to keep pushing the ink through. I feel like I might have flooded that. Oops. It flows really well. It's really comfortable to write with. It doesn't have much bounce. Like the nib is not flexible, but it's really nice flow. We try reverse writing. A little scratchy, but extremely fine. Still comes out. It's kind of nice, actually. Super fine. I like the weight of this pen, and it writes. What do you guys think? Let me know if you have any other questions about the Marquise fountain pen or anything else about Ferris Press that I can share with you. I think overall this is a pretty pricey pen in my opinion. I personally currently do not own very many expensive pens, and so this is a nice treat if you are looking for like a very sleek and beautiful, well-made pen that is a little bit more luxury but works well. I think this is definitely a big step up from the carousel fountain pen that they have as well. But the interchangeable nibs is really intriguing to me. I'm really considering getting the Flight of 5 for the experience of interchangeable nibs. There's medium, there's a extra fine, fine, medium, I think a broad and a double broad. So it should be really interesting to try that out. I'm actually quite tempted. There are a lot of other colors for the Marquise, the most color selection on the website for Marquise fountain pen compared to the others, the Jewel and the Bijou. Those are the two other more high-end pens. So let me know what your thoughts are about this pen and fountain pen ink, and hope to catch you in my next video. And also a reminder, if you would like, you can use my code JA-CTD for 15% off of the Ferris World Pass websites. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!